From amateur to professional. So the first tip is to focus on yourself and not focusing so much about what everybody else does. It's okay if you see someone who is really good. Let's take like Victor Axelsen, because right now he's like really, really well playing, and he's winning almost every tournament he is playing. So you can look at a guy like him and try to find out what you could do that he's doing, so you can like bring that to your own game. Okay, so what I meant by not focusing so much on what everybody else is doing is because sometimes it can take a lot of energy to think about what everybody else is doing, and then you forget to focus on like yourself, and that's like the main thing you should focus on. What can I do to be better? Okay, so if you're just thinking like, oh, he's doing this and that, and I'm just doing nothing, then do something. Not just sit and think about what everybody else is doing. You need to make your thoughts to a reaction. Okay, so tip number 2 is to be concentrated while you are playing. And yeah, that sounds maybe kind of obvious, but it's really hard actually to focus, to stay concentrated for a whole match. So it's really important when you're practicing, like if you're a feeder, that it's not a break for you, that you're still 100% focused. Also, I know you're just feeding someone else, but it's really important that you're focused there, because in a match you cannot just play and not be concentrated. Okay, so let's say you're concentrating when you're a feeder and stuff like that, but how do you go from being unfocused to being focused? Okay, and that's sometimes super hard, because sometimes you can feel that you are concentrated but you're thinking about everything else, or maybe you're thinking about a rally which has been played, so it's in the past, so you cannot change anything about it. So it's also important not to think so much about like what the score is. Especially I have that problem myself. I think a lot about the score, and I shouldn't do that, because it doesn't matter what the score is. I just have to focus on what I should do instead of focusing on what the score is, because I cannot control the score unless I win the points. And how do I win the points? I win them by being focused on what I should do. Okay, so how I take my focus back to the game and what I should be thinking about is to breathe, actually. So I just focus on my breathing, and then I like, that's my start zero, then I can like restart myself. So if I'm like thinking about all kind of stuff, the score, or maybe the opponent is playing really good and I'm not happy about that, or I don't know, I'm frustrated about me not playing so well, but that's not helping me. So I have to restart, and that's what I'm doing with my breathing. Okay, so maybe you have something else you can play with on your arm, and then when you see it, it reminds you have to focus, or something like that. Maybe a rubber band, I don't know. I was thinking about that in the start, but I've found some techniques which help me to refocus. Sometimes meditation actually also works really good to restart, to refocus, because then you are thinking about your breathing when you're meditating, and then when you're not thinking about your breathing, your thoughts are wandering somewhere, then you have to detect that and then turn your focus back to the breathing. Okay, so meditation can actually help you get better to concentrate, and I have felt that myself, so I'm meditating as much as I can and feel for, because I know that it's actually a really good asset to do and to have. So yeah, try it out, and if it's working, then it's just great. Okay, so tip number 3, and it's maybe the most important tip, that is to watch yourself play. And I know sometimes it's difficult if you're losing a match and watch it. I feel that myself, that it's so annoying to watch myself when I'm losing, but I have to do it because maybe I can see something I have to improve in my game, or maybe I have improved something in my game, and that can actually make me kind of happy when I'm seeing it, also when I'm losing. But you also has to record yourself when you practice, and not only practice matches, but maybe also some technique or something, because sometimes you have an idea how it looks in your head, but actually when you see it, like on video, it looks different. So I've been doing all these kind of technique videos and trick shot videos and stuff, and put it out on my social media, you guys know. And it has actually made me a better player, because I have watched myself so many times doing some shots, and now I can visualize how I'm doing it. So it's easier for me also to practice it a little bit when I'm home and get a feeling of it. But it's also really nice that I have been seeing all this footage of myself, because then I can see that maybe this has to change a little bit, maybe this has to change a little bit. What if I change this? What does that do, and how does it look, and stuff like that. Okay, so it's super important that you're also recording yourself and watch it and see what can be better. Okay, thank you for watching.